This is the new Google Pixel 8, priced at 76,000 Indian rupees, along with a brand new Tensor G3 chipset that doesn't run as hot as the G2 and a new 50 megapixel sensor, along with a ton of new AI processing features that Google is really pushing nowadays. All of these features with the beautiful stock Android experience makes this an ideal smartphone for anybody who wants to experience Android the way it is. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have this. This is the iPhone 15, latest and greatest base model iPhone from the guys over at Apple, with the previous A16 Bionic chipset, which was on the 14 Pro, priced at roughly 80,000 rupees here in India. This time around, we get to see a Type-C port along with a new 48 megapixel primary camera that takes 24 megapixel photos that are supposedly more detailed and take a lot of nice videos as well. In today's video, if you're either not a hardcore Android fanboy or a iOS Apple fanboy and you just want to know what is better because it is a very similar price point, then you've come to the right place. In today's video, we'll be going neck and neck with the iPhone 15 and the Google Pixel 8 and seeing how it stacks up against each other in a bunch of various categories. If this video interests you, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Anubhav here. Welcome to a new one. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, press on the bell icon so you don't miss any other update, and let's get started. Category number one is design, and I know that this category is extremely subjective, so take from this category what you will. At the end of the day, it's you who's gonna decide what looks better to your eyes, but I will just tell you my experience in using these devices. Let's keep the Pixel aside and start with the iPhone 15. The iPhone 15 this time around has a similar look to the iPhone 14, which looks like the 13, which is slightly different from the 12, but this time we get to see a new matte frosted glass at the back. Now this matte frosted glass comes with pastel shade of colors. This is the blue one that I have here, and honestly this is more white than blue, but that could be something that you either like or something that you dislike. I think it looks pretty clean and minimal either way. Because of this matte glass, the phone actually becomes much more grippier, and it's not a fingerprint magnet at all. You rarely get to see fingerprints on the back panel of this year's iPhone 15 lineup, and I think that is something pretty cool. Overall, I think the design of the iPhone 15 is very clean, very minimal, and very premium. Coming to the Pixel, guys, this time around the Pixel is again similar to the previous Pixel 7 series. The only difference now is that you've got slightly rounded corners, which makes the phone more pocketable and easier to use. Of course, this new color is called Hazel, and I really like it, and I think it just looks very clean and very minimal, just like the iPhone, by the way. However, over here things are a little bit more curvy and flowy in nature, and the camera visor sticks out of the top, which does not make the phone lay flat on a table, so that is something to think about. But either way, it looks great. Yes, because this is a glossy back, you will get more fingerprints compared to the iPhone 15, but it's not a nightmare to clean, and I still think this looks really incredible. So design wise, there's no points to give. It's up to you. Which one do you think looks better? That is the phone for you. Both phones are also very similarly sized. The iPhone is slightly smaller at a 6.12 inch screen size, and the Pixel 8 comes with a 6.2 inch screen size. The Pixel is only slightly taller, as I said. Overall, the dimensions feel pretty normal, and both displays are also really good. If we talk about the iPhone, you get a 6.12 inch Super Retina XDR display, which is absolutely incredible with great color reproduction and a refresh rate of 60 Hz, but it is not as bad as I thought it would be. It is a 60 Hz display, but Apple's animations and iOS is just so smooth that in fact it is one of the best 60 Hz displays that I have ever used. It just feels so smooth and so seamless. Of course, when you compare it to the Pixel 8 side by side, you will be able to notice the higher refresh rate, because the Pixel 8 once again comes with an OLED 120 Hz display that feels much more fluid, but the difference is is only noticeable when you stack these phones up side by side, but either way, Pixel is the true winner here when it comes to overall display speed and seamlessness. Let's talk about OS and performance now. Now, performance-wise, I'm not really a huge fan of benchmarks and I rely more on real-world testing. So here is what I have noticed. The iPhone 15 comes with last year's A16 Bionic chipset, which is extremely fast already. Granted that it was already on the 14 Pro, which was last year's Pro smartphone. So opening apps, gaming, watching content, flying through iOS is super smooth and super simple, and there are no lags or hiccups of any kind unless you push the phone really hard, which happens with every single phone no matter which chipset it's running at. The Pixel 8 on the other hand comes with the new Google chipset, which is the Tensor G3. Now this has also been surprisingly very well optimized in my usage. There are no overheating warnings that we saw on the G2, but I will wait for a little more time to give my final verdict in the Pixel 8 review, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Either way, even on the Pixel 8, playing games, moving across the UI, multitasking, watching content, everything is super smooth. Now when it comes to operating system, of course, the iPhone is running iOS and Google's phone is running stock Android. So this is once again a subjective thing. A lot of people, prefer iOS. A lot of people prefer Android. If you ask me about my personal opinion, I will always prefer Android because of the sheer customization options as well as the freedom of the operating system. But hey, you could like iOS and that would be completely fine. It's your money and it's your decision. Now let's move on to one of the main things that I was super excited to test in real life and was super curious to see the results, which is the camera performance. Now, believe it or not, the cameras on these two phones are pretty similar and they are also similarly priced. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have questions about this. Let's talk about the iPhone first. The iPhone has got the 48 megapixel primary sensor from the previous year's Pro lineup essentially, and this is a very good camera. Now it also comes with dual phase detection autofocus and OIS sensor shift technology, that is Apple's OIS patent, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide with 120-degree field of view. The Pixel 8 has a 50 megapixel sensor, which is the same on the 8 Pro, and this also has multi-directional phase detection autofocus along with OIS. The Pixel 8 also has a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor with 126 degrees of field of view. Side-by-side photo samples are on the screen right now, so you can decide what looks better to your eyes. What I realized in real life testing when I was taking the same photos on both the phones at the same time was that the iPhone, even in its normal mode, has a tendency to warm up the colors a bit, even though that is not what the natural scene looks like. The Pixel, on the other hand, goes to a more cooler tone than what is exactly natural, which creates a very stark, sort of color temperature difference between the two photos. However, the Pixel ones also look a little more detailed, thanks to Pixel's HDR sort of a look and processing that they are famous for. But in some photos, the fact that the iPhone 15 shoots 24 megapixel photos compared to the Pixel can be seen because you can actually get a little bit of more detail that way. Either way, no matter what you think looks better, the fact of the matter is that these two phones just have some of the best smartphone photography cameras that I have ever used. So no matter which decision you make, you will not be disappointed with the cameras on the 15 or the 8. The Pixel, however, has a bunch of AI features that may sway you towards its side if that kind of thing is important to you. The new Best Take feature allows you to merge different group photos into the perfect group photo where nobody has their eye closed or is yawning or looking the other way, and it lets you do that with Google's AI algorithms in the Photos app. Things like Magic Editor and Magic Eraser let you automatically remove objects as well as extra people from your Photos app itself, and also change frames and play around with computational AI to make different kinds of photos and stylized images, and basically let you tinker around a little bit more on the phone itself. Smartphone video is a completely different game, however. What I could see in my testing was that even though both the phones allow you to shoot up to 4K 60 FPS on both the back lenses and on the front camera, the Pixel's camera performance has improved from last year's. Videos look better now compared to Pixel 7 standards, but the iPhone camera is still better in video. The iPhone's dynamic range, stabilization, and overall video look and feel is just way superior, and that is something that all Android manufacturers need to work to get towards. So, smartphone photography, pretty similar, depends on your taste and style, what you think is better, but smartphone video, there are no confusions about it. The iPhone is the better phone. The Pixel, however, again comes through with its AI features. On the Pixel, even in smartphone video, you get a bunch of AI features like the audio eraser one, where you can either reduce noise from noisy videos or enhance the speech if there is somebody talking in the video. And again, all of this happens in the Google Photos app itself with a couple of cool features that will be added over time. Cameras aside, both phones are pretty similar when it comes to their battery performance as well. Both phones, the iPhone unofficially charges at a peak speed of 27 watts and the Google officially says that it charges at a maximum speed of 27 watts. The Pixel can handle wireless charging up to 18 watts, whereas the iPhone can charge wirelessly via MagSafe at a maximum speed of 15 watts. Other than that, the battery life on both the phones is pretty good for one full day, and there are no major changes comparing one to the other. Conclusion time. Which is the better phone? Well, it depends on the buyer. I gave you guys a concise list of different categories and how these phones perform against each other. Pick the categories that are important to you, and your answer on which phone you should pick will reveal itself to you. And to all the Apple fanboys or Google and Android fanboys in the comments, there is no need to fight. Both of these phones are great, and no matter which one you pick up, it's a win for the tech community in general. And I'm so glad that we finally have a value for money iPhone that we can compare to a slightly overpriced Pixel series, especially here in India. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Anubhav signing out from today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All the timestamps, photo samples, you can scrub through them from the links in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, press on the bell icon so you don't miss any other updates, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye. Peace out.